Hey everybody, this is Chef Q down here at the County Line Barbecue in Austin, Texas. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to trim up some delicious smoked barbecue just like the pros do. So let's go ahead and get started then. First thing you got to do is you want to know what it is you're dealing with here. What we have here is a nice beautiful brisket smoked for 18 hours in our pit smokers. And we have three different parts here. We have the lean flat end. This is where you get your lean brisket. On the underside we have the fattier moist part. And in between you have a layer of fat. We're going to be getting rid of that layer of fat and we're going to be separating the lean from the moist. And we go ahead and start finding that with our fingers here. Start feeling for it before we even use a knife. That way we kind of know where we're going to be cutting. I'm spinning it around here. Get my knife, bring it in. You can feel the difference. You can feel where the fatty is in between, and it's easy to kind of cut through that with your knife. So we're going to start peeling that away very slowly. There we go, open that up, and we'll really start to see that come apart. So we have here now separated, we have the flat end, which is the leaner end, and then our moist end, which is the fattier end. And you can see we have a lot of fat here in the middle. We're going to go ahead and scrape some of that off. That's not what we'll go for here at the county line. Get all that off, and really exposing not only the lean end, but also you can see the grain here. And so what you see here now on the lean, after we've removed the fat, you can really see some of the grain. And this is going to be really important later on when you actually go to slice the brisket. So we're going to go ahead and clean up the moist end here and get rid of some of this excess fat that you really don't need. I'm not going to take all of it off though, because a lot of the fat is where the flavor is. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this off here. And again, you start to expose the grain. The fatty end actually has a different grain than the lean end, than the flat end. And again, just take note of that for later on when we go to slice. Turn it over here. This is where we have all of our tasty bark, so I don't want to remove too much of that. Just getting rid of some of this fat again. And this brisket's so tender, you're not even going to need to use your knife the whole time. You can actually just use your fingers to start peeling away that fat. You can just feel it and it just falls away. So this side's pretty much done now. It's nice and cleaned up. We left a little bit of the fat on there and definitely left some of the bark on. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side here. Now we're going to move back to the lean end and start trimming that rest of the fat off of there. Again, you can get a lot of this fat just with your fingers. The little parts that are a little tough, just go ahead and slice them off there with your knife here. And then just use a knife and gently scrape the rest of that fat off. Very easy, again, revealing more and more of the grain. We always have a little corner here that has a little bit of veins in it, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. It's a little bit tougher part of the meat there. Scrape some more of the fat off. And we're about ready to go ahead and start slicing. And we mentioned the grain earlier. This is the very important part when it comes time to slice. You always want to make sure that we're going to cut perpendicular to the grain and not with the grain. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Start slicing away here. Got some nice, beautiful looking brisket here. And you can see cutting against the grain, it's going to really just pull apart in a very beautiful manner. We got some nice brisket ends here. That's like meat candy right there. Beautiful, full of flavor, lots of smoke on that. So cutting with the grain is going to give you a totally different texture in the meat. This is what you don't want to do, and that's what you really want to avoid. You get that really kind of stringy beef there. That's not what we're going for. Again, we want to cut perpendicular to the grain so that it just falls apart when you take a bite. And there you go, guys. Now you know how to trim brisket just like the pros here at County Line. If you're in town, please come on into the restaurant and let us do the work for you. If not, order through AirRibs and we'll have it delivered to your house.
Come on down and get it at the County Line.